it's just Martine, and this weekend I'll be attempting another 24 in 48 hour readathon. It's Friday, and normally when I do a 24 in 48, I would start around now, like it's 4-ish in the afternoon, but I actually have an event that I'm going to tonight, so I can't start, and I actually don't know when I can start, so I'll talk to you more when I get home, and it's start time. But I've put books into Bookly so that I can just start reading once I pick a time and start. I've uploaded my Sunday video. I'm ready to read this weekend. So yay, let's do it. I'm back now. We watched the 2004 movie Sleepover, which was so weird, but also wonderful. And then I watched, like, I would say a third of the Hannah Montana movie, and we had good food. We had like pizza and cookies and candy and all that stuff. And we were cozy in our pajamas, and it was super fun. Glad I went to that, and now I'm home, and I'm going to have my official start time be 9:25, so I'm going to get to reading. The first thing that I'll be reading is the last like 50-ish minutes of Stroke of Winter, which I got as an Amazon First Reads book a while ago. So we're going to finish that book up hopefully tonight before I fall asleep, and that might be the only reading I accomplish today, but tomorrow we bring our A games. Good morning. It's 6:45. I'm having trouble waking up this morning, so hopefully the dulcet tones of Barack Obama reading his audiobook to me will wake me up some more. We'll see. It's almost 10 a.m. and I just got back from walking to Publix to pick up my prescriptions, during which time I listened to A Promised Land by Barack Obama, and I'm now at 49% of that. I was at like 30-ish% before today, and I'm going to switch to some physical reading for a while, and I'm like approaching 4 hours of reading done for the 24 and 48, so not as much progress as I would like, but progress nevertheless. It's Saturday night at 7 p.m. and I just hit the 12-hour mark of reading, which is great because that means I accomplished 12 hours of reading in less than 24 hours. So I am on the path to finish my 24 and 48 as long as I keep going. I do have 2 books to review for you. One, I was so tired last night after I finished The Stroke of Winter by Wendy Webb that I forgot to update you in the morning and tell you that I did indeed finish it, and I gave it 3 stars. It was fine. It was a haunted house story, and I feel like I'd read a lot of those in the last year or so, and so I just wasn't as invested. And honestly, I didn't read the synopsis before going into it and was not expecting a haunted house read, so that wasn't really the vibe I was looking for. I was just looking for a thriller, and that's not what I got, which is my bad. But yeah, on the whole, it was just like, okay, typical haunted house story, right? Girl inherits house, is going to transform it into a bed and breakfast. Creepy stuff starts happening. You know how it goes. And then today, I read the entirety of Amberlow by Lara Elena Donnelly, which actually fits for 3 of my prompts for the Heartstopper Readathon. It works for the Leaf prompt, LGBT plus representation. This definitely had that. Aled's of Pink Hair, a book that got a new look. This has had a different cover than this. And then Tara's of Sheet Music, a book that features music. There were some discussions of music in here. There was an orchestra involved. It counts. It was brief, but it counts. Unfortunately, I'm only giving this 3 stars. 3 stars is still good, but like I wanted it to be more. It seemed so interesting. It follows 3 main characters. 2 of them work in this theater. They're in this stage show together, and one of them is a smuggler, and then he's like involved with this guy who's a spy, and they're like kind of on different sides of things. It's weird, and it's really hard to explain because I think what's giving this a 3 stars instead of like a 3.5 or 4 is that I really didn't understand the political situation in this book, like at all. I didn't understand what the 2 different sides wanted, and it was hard to keep track of like who was on what side, especially near the end, because I thought I knew who was on what side, but then they weren't, but not in a plot twist way. It was just like I had misunderstood, I guess. So that was weird. This does have a sequel, which I probably won't read, especially because like I feel like the ending wrapped up fine. Like there are still threads that are loose, but not ones that I'm really curious about. So yeah, this was just okay, but I'm glad that I read it, checking off 3 prompts, and also it's a library book, so I can now return this to the library. And I'm probably not going to finish it tonight, but I have been working on After Anna by Alex Lake, which I'm only using for one prompt, Tara's prompt of Hair Clip, a book you've been holding back from reading. Today I have not been holding back from reading this. I'm on page 256 of this right now. And then all my other reading time, aside from Amberlow and After Anna today, has been going towards A Promised Land by Barack Obama, which I probably won't be able to finish by the end of this. Well, maybe I will, but which I'm really enjoying so far. There were multiple times when I was listening to it today where I wanted to cry, so that was weird. I'm going to continue reading for the night so that I have less hours to read tomorrow, and I'll probably catch up with you in the morning. Hello, happy Sunday morning. It's around 9 a.m. and I have some things to update you on. One, I'm 17.5 hours of reading in, so that's great. Two, last night I did finish After Anna and I gave this 3.5 stars. I thought there were some fun elements to it. Well, fun, like it was interesting to read. It was actually like a very dark story. And I would say the plot twist, I didn't see coming from like very early on, but I saw as it was building up to it, like it was like, is this what's gonna happen? And then it did, but not in a way that was like, oh, disappointing. It was like, wow, like she did a good job showing that that's where it was going in the right time, I feel like, but it also wasn't like anything crazy. Finished that, and then this morning I've been working on A Promised Land and I've been making good progress on that. But just now I read the 2 Magic Treehouse books for the month, Twister on Tuesday and Earthquake in the early morning. Twister on Tuesday I'm giving 4 stars. I really like the vibe of the prairie schoolhouse. It conjured up memories of like visiting little schoolhouses, like historic schoolhouses. And then Earthquake in the early morning I gave 3 stars because the pacing I felt like wasn't as good as the Twister one. I just wasn't as invested in it or the setting or anything, but it was still fun. So yay! I'm probably going to go get breakfast soon at the dining hall while I continue to listen to A Promised Land. It's just past 11 a.m. and I just finished A Promised Land by Barack Obama, which I'm giving 4.5 stars. The only reason it's not 5 stars is because different sections didn't hold my attention as well as others, which could be because I listened to so much of it this weekend. So by the ending, I was like, but there were definitely some emotional moments, and it was crazy to hear about such big historical moments from the perspective of the president. And I'm looking forward to the second volume in this series where he's supposed to talk about, I think, his second term, so his re-election and second term, which doesn't have a release date yet, but the internet says that like it's planned, and this one is marked as the first book on Goodreads. And it's just crazy because so many of the things that happen in the course of this book are like things that I remember happening when I was growing up, because I've been talking to some people while I've been reading this about the fact that I think like the 2008 election is the first presidential election that I was actually cognizant of, and then the re-election I was pretty cognizant of, and I was just at the age when these things were happening that I started to hear some of them on like the news, or my family would start talking about some of them around me. Not every little thing, obviously, like there's a lot covered in here, and a lot of what Obama points out is that the way that things look to everybody in the country is not the actuality of like what's happening when you're trying to get the work done in the White House. But a lot of the things like the BP oil spill or the mission against Osama bin Laden and restabilizing the economy after 2008, like all of those things I have particular memories of. And so to hear them and just realize how much happened during his presidency, and this was just, you know, most of the first term, right? So that was crazy to see how much happened in that time that was like so hugely significant and that he had to make decisions on and stuff, and it was crazy. It also means that I'm officially up to 19 hours of reading for this, and since it's only 11, I have like 10 hours left in which to get done the last 5 hours of reading I need to do, so I should make it as long as everything keeps going the way that it's going. Of course, now I don't have an audiobook, which does make it harder to do certain things while I'm reading, but that's fine. I just really wanted to get this one done and say that I had finished it, even though I had already read like 30% of it before this. It's such a long book, like over 700 pages, that reading this much of it this weekend is a lot of pages, so woohoo! And I honestly don't know what I'm going to turn to reading now. Probably secret stuff, because this is a good chance to read secret stuff, and I've already reviewed quite a few books for this. But I'll check in with you later, and hopefully pretty soon, we'll reach that 24 hours. It's 4:50 p.m. and I just officially finished my 24 hours. I still have like 4 hours left to go till the clock runs out. I'll probably not read anymore in between now and then, but who knows? So I'll probably come at you like tomorrow or something with my final statistics, page counts, etc. But I am extremely proud of myself for actually keeping you updated during the course of the 24 and 48 instead of just afterwards. That's going to be a huge relief to me in editing this. So now I'm going to go meet up with a friend for dinner and enjoy the rest of my evening, whether that be by reading or literally anything else. As promised, here I am the next day with some final statistics. So I read 24.1 hours in my 48-hour time span, and I read a total of 2,116 pages for that. Of interesting note, on Saturday, I read for a total of 14 hours and 16 minutes, whereas I read for about 9 hours on Sunday, and there were like 40 minutes on Friday, but it's nothing big. And then I read 878 pages on the Sunday, and I read 1,165 on the Saturday. So I think that was a very successful reading weekend. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below when was your last good reading weekend, and subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!